This is me. This is me. This is you. All right? You being foolish, ignorant, and stupid. Me looking at you like, what's your problem? What is your problem? A lot of you guys are making a mistake right here on this guy because you're looking at the girl in the red shirt. Stop it! Okay, watch this. Now, I'm not going to correctly do it yet. I'm going to do what some of you guys are doing. Okay, if you are squaring this right here, guys, you know what that means? That means you are going negative rad 26 minus 11x plus 4 times negative rad 26 minus 11x plus 4. That's what that 2 means. This 2... this squared right here, this power means this. You have to do it like that because there's a plus sign in here. You have to. And some of you guys, that's how you were looking at the girl in the red shirt. For others of you, I'm going to show you where else you are making a mistake. Now, some of you guys did the first part right. The first thing you want to do is you probably most likely want to get rid of this 4 so he's on the other side. So now this square root is all alone. Now you can square both sides. And when you square the side, you must square the whole side. Okay, this is where you guys are also looking at the girl in the red shirt. Some of you guys said, oh, this equals x squared minus 16. It does not equal x squared minus 16. You're not just taking this power of 2 and going to the x and going to the... You can't do that. That's not what the power means. The power means x minus 4 times x minus 4. And then when you do that, you get x squared minus 8x plus 16. Is everybody tracking with me? Everybody tracking so far? Okay, now look at the other side. This is also where I saw mistakes. There is a negative 1 in front of this. You have to pay attention to every other number in front of a square root sign if it's not a positive 1. You have to pay attention to it. So that's not a positive 1, so pay attention! This is what the 2 means. The 2 means negative 1 times the square root of 26 minus 11x times negative 1, the square root of 26 minus 11x. Okay, that's what that squared means. It means that twice. So let's think about that for a second. What is negative 1 times negative 1? Positive 1. So that goes away. We don't need him anymore, right? And then we have this square root times this square root, which equals just whatever is inside the square root. Everybody's gravy? The sausage gravy. That's the good stuff, not the bad stuff. Okay. All right, so now we have a quadratic expression. In order to solve a quadratic expression, we got to set it equal to 0 and then solve it. So I'm going to add 11x to both sides. Okay, so I get x squared, what is that, 3, positive 3x. And then I have a 16. And then I get subtract 26 from both sides. So I get 0 on the left side. I get x squared plus 3x. And then, what is that, negative 10. Now you can, you're right, it is. You can factor, you can solve this by completing the square, you can solve this by using the quadratic formula, but I always like to choose the easiest way to do things, and I think the most simple, most efficient way to do this is to figure out what multiplies to give me negative 10 and then adds to give me 3. Go ahead, tell me. Class, come on. Yes, so x plus 5 and then x minus 2. That would work. Okay, and if we set each of these factors equal to 0, you would see that x minus or negative equals negative 5 and x equals positive 2. Because if I plug in negative 5 to that down there, if I plug in negative 5, it would be 0 equals negative 5 plus 5 and then negative 5 minus 2. What is negative 5 plus 5? Class? 0. And what is negative 5 minus 2? Negative 7. Does that give me 0? Yes, it does. And I can do the same thing with the 2. I could plug in the 2 right there and there, and it would make this one 0 instead, and it would still work, okay? That's using the 0 property. Now, when you guys get your final answer, and you're doing a problem that has a square root in it, you need to make sure that you are checking your answers by plugging it into the original equation. You have to do this, otherwise you might get something wrong. Test those guys. I'm going to test, what was it, negative 2? Was it negative 2 or negative 5? Okay, so negative 5 and 2, let's test them. Let's see if they're solutions. If I plug in negative 5 right here, is there another x anywhere? Yes, there is. So I got to plug in negative 5 right here also. So if I plug that in, does it work? What is negative 11 times negative 5? That's positive 55, right? Positive 55 plus 26 is, was that 75, 61? 81. Yeah, I know how to add. Okay, so negative 81 plus 4 equals negative 5. Is that true? Let's see. This would be a 9, and because that negative would be negative 9 plus 4 equals negative 5. Yes, that's true. That's true. It checks out. Okay, let's try positive 2. Okay, let's try positive 2. I'm not going to plug in negative 5 anymore. I'm going to plug in positive 2. So let's put a 2 right there and a 2 right here. Let's see what we get. Negative 11 times positive 2 would be negative 22. What is 26 and negative 22? Okay, now I don't hold that stuff in my head. I'm going to write it down because I don't want to do too many steps in my head. So I have negative square root of 4 plus 4. Let's close off that square root. And then I have a 2 right here. So this would be a 2. And because that negative would be negative 2 plus 4 equals 2. Is that true? Yes. Okay, so in this case, they both check out. So these are your answers.